And look at that beautiful weather. Yeah, 2 weeks of genuinely good sunny weather. So everything's waking up. I did prune the Tucumanese passion vine. There were lots of dead branches up here. I'm just waiting for it to resprout. The Changsha mandarin went through winter very well. It had one damaged leaf, but looks like it dropped. And the blue passion flower also doing well. Oh, it's warm in here. The Thomasville, they both dropped. But yeah, I did overwinter 2 fruits out of 5. Not great, but that's something. You can see there's some damage from winter, but overall it's fairly good and they smell extremely fruity. The rind is like kumquat, but it's not as sweet. Pulp is sweet and sour, reminds me of Nagami kumquat. Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's like a kumquat, except it's not as sweet. It may just be my climate, because cold winters are not great for getting sweet fruits, but it's very much edible. Thomasville Citronquat is quite good if you can get it in a region where it doesn't freeze every 2 minutes. Okay, now the second fruit. Same thing. Rind is edible, like kumquat rind, except it's not sweet. And pulp, sweet and sour, similar to Nagami kumquat, but less sweet because the rind is not sweet. And there's a few seeds in there. Okay, back to the video. I have a sweet arum orange here, essentially a sweet tasting desert lime orange hybrid, which normally they're more sour. This is a more typical type, which is a bit yellow, and I did have to prune a few twigs, but it did make it through winter. This Chanquat is doing better. Some leaves dropped, but that's fine. The Thomasville, I pruned one branch off of it and most leaves dropped. The desert lime is actually super healthy. No damage even where it was touching the glass. Shang Yuan Ichang Lemon, that one also is undamaged, though some leaves are a bit yellow, but it's getting new growth. Just 20 degrees Celsius? I would have thought it was at least 30. Well, after months of winter, perceptions are a bit biased. I also pruned my trifoliate rootstocks, because those are a bit my gene banks. I still have to do more grafts on it, because right now there's just one variety, which is here, one Tangelo branch. This Olean orange crossed with Ichang lemon, doing very well. The Bloom Sweet King Koji, I actually had to cut the top off. Moro blood orange, I pruned one twig, but the rest was pretty much fine. The US 119, Citramalo crossed with acidless orange, defoliated, but no twig damage at all. This is G194 orange, which has had a little bit of dieback on some upper branches. Otherwise, it's pretty good, not even too defoliated. Compared to this Sucrina or Sakori orange, most of the branches died. I knew it was fairly cold sensitive, even by orange standards, but it did overwinter. This is Taiwanica lemon, which is starting to get some new growth. My lychee tomatoes. I got 2 casualties. Some have died back, but are resprouting. Others no dieback at all. Another of my trifoliate rootstocks. This Dunstan is taking very well. Oro Blanco, it has died back. I removed the top branches, but some are still okay, and there's new growth all over. Cocktail, it's also getting new growth all over, but a lot more dieback, so it seems more sensitive than Oro Blanco. However, Valentine is also starting to grow, and there's branches everywhere, and it's very green. Overall, it did very well. The Rio Red, it had a bit of dieback, but overall it's quite fine. You can see some tall branches up here, which are still very healthy. Not too much to prune off of it. The Hongi Pomelo, it did very well. I pruned 2 branches up top, but the rest was completely undamaged. I believe it's about as tolerant as Satsuma. Same for this Herado Buntan. I didn't get any limb damage on it, but it lost leaves. Now for mandarins, this is Iwasaki Satsuma. A little bit of twig damage, but nothing major. My clementine was defoliated, but not much damage on it. Over here, this is another one of my trifoliate rootstocks with multi-grafts on it. This is Z82 that I tasted recently. I will graft it outdoors. Clemuse did very well. There was one branch here that died, but the other branch did fine. My Amura 8 Blood Tangor, some limb damage, but nothing major. Demi Shelley, it was partly defoliated, but not that much. The Karaji Mandarin was a lot more defoliated. And this is my multi-grafted rootstock for mandarins. I unfortunately did the mistake of grafting too high, but I have Seishan Satsuma here, early variety. Those are Ventrilla mandarin that I tasted very recently, and I have some backups N30 Eusandarin. And over there, my guavas did fine. This is Arayan guava plus some Chilean guavas. This is Citrange Remo, Citrange crossed with Desert Lime. It's doing very well, no damage at all this winter. And here I have H-Chang Star 70, which is supposed to taste very good, and H-Chang Star 60, which is the one that tastes like stink bug. And I have Star Yuzu 25, which is Citromolo crossed with Yuzu. The 5-star Citromolo has done very well through winter. A few buds are swelling with the unseasonably warm weather we're getting. I'm not surprised. This Trivos, I'm hoping it flowers this year so I can make some crosses with the citrus in the greenhouse. My Ching Pepita, it lost a few leaves, but other than that, it's very green. This Dunstan Citromelo, refusing to die. The Morton Estelle lost a few leaves, but that's pretty much it. The regular Morton, well, it's a year older, so it's doing better, unsurprisingly. Kabosu lost a few leaves, but it did go through winter. I really want this Kabosu to succeed. But yeah, it's hard when you're just starting your trees and they're still young, not established. They're not as resilient as established trees. I mean, this Sudashi didn't have any growth at all. The small Hanayu, there's some leaves that are just dead, but the lower parts of the plants are still healthy. This other Hanayu here is doing a lot better. It's younger, but the rootstock is just more vigorous. The N3 Yuzu, this is all the damage it has. A bit of defoliation and twig damage on this summer growth. I'm hoping it's going to produce a few fruits this year. Same for this Tokushima Yuzu, the early Yuzu. My Prague Chimera Mandarin, defoliated as always. The other one, which has a better rootstock and thus is bigger, it has more leaves, so maybe it's going to flower and fruit. And the N30 Eusandarin, very happy about how it did. A few leaves are a bit yellow or some are damaged. This summer growth also did burn a bit, but overall is doing very well. Last year it was entirely defoliated, but this year it did not, and it handled more cold. Oh, and the Yuzu Mellow, because it has a viral problem, I decided to remove it, and I moved it to the front of the house where it's away from my other citrus and won't propagate diseases. And here I have the newer Dunstan. There's a replacement for the one that's barely alive, and it's defoliated but otherwise healthy. Same for this HRS 899K Citrandarin, defoliated but healthy. And I just added this Trifiola the other day. Anyway, I think that's going to be it for today's update. See you next week. Goodbye.